2013 brought the introduction of some brand new things to the world, the first time. That it says anything, it was, the year that selfie and twerk were added to the dictionary, if that really means anything. I don't think it does, but it was kind of an interesting fact that was out there. It was also the year that we were gifted with the brand new rear-wheel drive sports coupe as the offspring of an unlikely combination between Toyota and Subaru, and then originally badged under the Scion branding of Toyota. Of course, the Scion FRS was here, and we were all about it. Soon after the launch, these cars took the car scene by storm. They were starting to pop up literally everywhere. We saw the addition of the BRZ and the Toyota 86 once Scion got the old axe, in 2016. And, we had a new platform to mess around with. People started to modify the absolute crap out of these things, especially since they came out right around the time when the wide body over fender phase was really starting to kick into high gear. Rocket Body FRSs and BRZs were flooding the Instagram feeds. Now, like 8 years later, even though the FRS itself might be gone, we still have plenty of Subaru BRZs and Toyota 86s running around for everyone to get their hands on. And even got introduced to the second generation, which I'm really excited about. So odds are you already picked one of these up, or you are looking, to get your hands on one, or if you can, find a good deal in this crazy market. Of course, that's kind of the thing. But odds are you're probably already looking around for aftermarket parts to throw on the car you don't even have or just got yet. Been there, done that, will more than likely continue to do it. I don't care. Being a former FRS owner myself of upwards of 4 years or so, we thought it would be a great opportunity to sit down and go over what you need to know about these cars and what modifications you need to do to your Scion FRS, Subaru BRZ, or Toyota 86. Now, hold up there, bud. Before we get into all the fun stuff and start dropping parts into carts, bars, we got to make sure we do a little homework here first to make sure we know exactly what kind of car we're getting into. What exactly is this car? Is there anything weird with these cars? What modifications do they take well, and what modifications do they not take well? Good news, you don't have to do all the homework. We already did it for you. So here's like the Cliff Notes version of it. This car was built between a joint effort between Subaru and Toyota. You probably already know that. Toyota agreed to provide the chassis of the vehicle, and Subaru agreed to provide the drivetrain, even though it wasn't going to be all-wheel drive. Don't know how they managed to do that. The US saw the Scion FRS introduced with the first model year in 2013 and continued to be powered by the Subaru FA20 4-cylinder boxer engine up until 2021. A 2-liter naturally aspirated boxer paired with either an automatic or 6-speed manual transmission provides just about 200 horsepower or so to the rear wheels. Not fastest little guy in the world, but still a ton of fun to drive, and it's a great competitor to go up with the latest and greatest Miata. Overall, the cars are fantastic. I absolutely love mine, but here's just a few things to note about this car if you're looking at getting one. All right, first things first, watch out for like the 2013 years or like the earlier years of this car. There was a recall issued for the valve springs, which is an entire like engine out procedure, which doesn't sound terrible, right? I mean, it was recalled. It should be taken care of. Well, here's the issue. Scions go to a Toyota dealership to get the recall done. They can't go to a Subaru dealership. And remember how like these things have like a Subaru engine under the hood? Caused a little bit of an issue when Toyota techs kind of put them back together, and the engines were popping 1,000 miles down the road, and some dealerships would cover it, some wouldn't. You'd be shit out of luck. Best bet, either look for a later year, or if you do get an early model, try to shoot for a BRZ and check if the recall has been done or not. Not gonna lie, I didn't do mine, and it was perfectly fine. For like 40-some thousand miles, I drove it. Other than that, the early years are also known to suffer from this little itty bitty thing called the cricket syndrome. Literally, like the high pressure fuel pump sounds like crickets chirping at idle. It's like the weirdest damn thing. I pulled it in my garage when I brought it home, and it was like, wow, this thing's making a lot of noise already, just to find out that that's just what it does. Other than that, early years, growing pains, all years, do suffer from this other thing. An insane amount of torque dip that kills your soul. But don't worry, we'll get into that too. With all that under our belt, let's start talking about some modifications and what some of the best things you can do to these cars is. First thing we're gonna do is start with some wheels, tires, and suspension, of course, and then move into some performance, and then close out with any like other exterior stuff or any interior modifications, make these driving experience a little more enjoyable, and anything else that we would recommend. Crickets. That's what it sounds like. As far as wheels go, we got a few really great options for these cars. The first being the Enkei NT03. Now, usually these wheels are like really overshadowed by the RPF1. People think Enkei, they automatically go with the RPF1, but The NT03 looks absolutely incredible on these cars. They're a great multi-spoke option for those that aren't looking for something that's just like a simple 5 or 6 spoke wheel. I ran them personally in my FRS. I absolutely love them. They come with good fitment options for it. 8x9.5 plus 40 with a 255/35 tire. Looks pretty dang good with a nice little drop in ride height. They're also not gonna really break the bank either, and they got some cool finish options as well. Second option would be the Inovia Carrier. Let's go! I actually designed this wheel and I'm really, really proud of it. It's designed specifically for the FRS, BRZ, and GT86, and it's got the perfect fitment for these cars. They're extremely lightweight, right around 18 pounds per wheel. They're deco directional, meaning you're getting a left and right side design, which was really only found in like forged wheels before. And of course, it's a really clean, nice 5-spoke design. Like I said, fitments, colors, everything going good for the Inovia Carrier. You can go check them out. The third option would be a really popular option that we see a lot of people go with, which would be the Grandlight 57DR. Now with the Grandlights, you're getting the Rays name. You get a little bit of clout come with it. It's got Rays engraved on the spokes. Pretty neat. They come with some fantastic color options, and there's extremely durable wheels. Like when you look at Rays and Grandlights in particular, you get some really, really cool finishes. They absolutely kill it. And you know, they perform really, really good. Of course, people drive the absolute piss out of these things, so they're gonna want some extra grip when they're slinging it through the corner as fast as they possibly can. So tires like your Continental Extreme Contact DWS06 Pluses, Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss, and Falcon and Mazinus FK510s are some of the top tire choices that we see people go with when they're packaging some new wheels and tires for these cars. As far as suspension goes, these cars really do have a great suspension setup from the factory. They come with a ton of bracing and support. You open the hood, you can see strut braces everywhere. The car feels really great from the factory. However, you can always benefit from upgraded suspension components. BC Racing be coilover of choice if you're looking to go to the coilover route, and of course Airlift Performance if you're looking to really slam this thing down, air it out. Maybe you want to do some nice tucked or fender to lip fitment. That would be the route to go. As far as the performance side of things, like I mentioned before, these cars aren't, the fastest cars in the world, and they do suffer from a pretty nasty torque dip. The good news is, however, that since this has become quickly one of the #1 cars for car enthusiasts to go after, it has garnered an insane amount of aftermarket support. There are like 2 routes that you can take here, all right? Well, technically 3, but try to squeeze out as many horsepower and torque numbers as you can with things like bolt-ons and attunes by keeping it naturally aspirated, or you can take your chances with boosting it. First, let's talk about the NA route. There are a good amount of solutions to get rid of that nasty torque dip that these cars suffer from. The best solution is an aftermarket header and a tune. Trust me, it helps drastically. It makes a world of difference when driving the car. I was honestly really surprised about it. In my opinion, open flash tuning makes a really good off-the-shelf tuning solution for these cars. It allows for multiple fuel options to be used. It allows also for custom maps to be uploaded as well. They even have their own aftermarket header that they sell as like a whole package deal to make it really quick and simple. Otherwise, brands like Tomei and JDL are other really great options to look at when going with an aftermarket header for these cars. Upgrading the entire exhaust system is usually the way to go, from your overpipe to your front pipe to your catback exhausts. All are pieces that you would just want to upgrade. However, you can always just stick with a catback and you'll probably be more than happy. Brands like Nvidia, Greddy, and Tomei are some of the top options that we see people go with. Personally, I ran the Greddy Revolution RS with the Tomei unequal length header, and I absolutely loved it. Did drone a little bit though, just a heads up. As far as going the boosted route, as common as it is for people to do, it can really be kind of a gamble as far as how long you're going to go without having to replace your engine down the road. It really comes down to the FA20 already being such a high compression engine, built to get as much horsepower out of it as possible already. Adding boost or forced induction to an already high compressed engine is where the majority of problems come from. It can be done, however, low boost is going to be where you're going to want to sit, and safe numbers around like 300 or so horsepower, which in my opinion is more than enough for these cars, is right where you're going to want to be. Companies like JDL, MA Performance, and Greddy make some really, really good, easy kits to install a turbocharger on these cars. It can literally be done in like a matter of like an afternoon with a couple buddies. It's super easy. The supercharger is also a pretty common way to go when it comes to these cars as well. Craftworks makes an incredible kit. It sounds so damn good. And again, it's also pretty easy to install. One thing to note here is if you're looking at adding some sort of force induction and increasing the horsepower by that much, not a bad idea to look at upgrading your rear axles either. Stock ones don't like that kind of increase in power most of the time. You can get by, but take it easy. As far as other modifications go, the FRS, BRZ, and Toyota 86 probably has like the most amount of aftermarket exterior, interior pieces I've ever seen for a car. From full body kits to headlights, to interior replacement bits, there's so many freaking options. If you're on the fence about going like the wide body route, some of the top options of course are gonna be from like Rocket Bunny and Rallybacker. I really like the Rallybacker V2 kit personally. If that's not your jam, you can't go wrong with some carbon pieces as well. APR, Cybon, and VIS Racing provide some really good exterior options for things like trunks, hoods, side skirts, splitters, lips, wings, whatever you would want. I had the carbon VIS trunk on mine, and it was like my favorite piece that I added to the car. Interior-wise, they're honestly pretty decent. Now, it might just be me, but you know, the simplistic interior of the FRS I really liked. Can't go wrong with an aftermarket ship knob though, and if maybe like an upgraded steering wheel or something like that to really enhance your driving experience, you can really never go wrong. The only thing is that orange car, and it had red trim on the interior. That was a little weird. So there you have it, some quick tips on if you're looking to modify your own Scion FRS, Subaru BRZ, or Toyota 86. Of course, if you're looking for some wheels, tires, or suspension, you can check all that out over at fitmentindustries.com. We have all those options that we listed above. As well, if you're looking for some performance side of things, you can check out our buddies over at MA Performance. They got some good options over there for aftermarket BRZ, FRS 86 parts as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Jels from Fitment Industries, and we'll see you next time. Peace.